thought it would be fun to go through the history of swimwear from the 20s to the 60s. So let's do it, but this video will be focusing on the 20s and 30s. In the early 1920s, going to the beach to go swimming was still a relatively new notion, and the design for women's swimsuits reflected that. Suits were made of heavy wool, and they had to wear these black swim stockings that would inevitably roll down to their knee or ankle, so by the 1930s many women ditched the socks anyways. There was also the presence of beach police who would be on the lookout for women with a measuring tape in hand to make sure that their swim skirts weren't too short. Eventually, this would cease or lessen to happen as women just didn't care, and much like the swim socks, they were left behind. And now for the 30s. The popularity of swimming greatly increased in 1930s with the introduction of the New Deal, which brought about community-funded pools. This meant that more people would see you in your swimsuits, and it brought about designers adding support into their swimsuits, like girdles and light bras. There was also a distinction between swimsuits, which were for athletics, and bathing suits, which were for lounging. In 1931, Lastex was invented, and people could ditch the wool swimsuits of the 20s, which became weighed down and unflattering when wet. The 30s is when designers really started focusing on making swimsuits that flattered a woman's body. Stay tuned for part 2 when we'll talk about 1940s swimwear.